Welcome back to the channel. This game features Nigel's game against John Littlewood, an FM from England. It was played in a Eastern Chess Congress in Bolton in April 1984. The game was quite a short and sweet game. It featured the French defence. The Guimard defence, a defence that Nigel played quite a lot with varying results early in his career. White closes down the centre. White looks to expand on the queen side and covers the c5 square. This is all normal book stuff. And I think this is the first variation in the books. Nigel decides to retreat his knight to b8. I mean, you can go to a7 in this position as well. Both sides castle. But you say white's got a nice position out of the opening and black looks very cramped. But this is a standard feature in the French defence. Clicking the bishop. And here Nigel plays knight to a6. I think bishop to a6 would have been better to try and trade the white bishop off. Creating a pawn chain, also allowing the bishop to be able to drop back to either c2 or b1. So Nigel decides to strike in the centre. And Littlewood moves his knight out of the way of the fork on c4. Potentially bishop to b1. And something like this would have been much better. Well, would have been better for him, potentially. As he's probably got a clear advantage at this point. He plays knight d2. And now Nigel does finally play bishop a6, trying to get rid of the white bishop, which white stops with c4. Rook e1 seems a bit passive, but maybe c takes d4 would have been better in this position. Reinforcing the c4 pawn. And I think here this is the critical moment of the game. This is a mistake, as white can take the bishop, take the knight, and after bishop takes, he can actually lose to the following Greek gift idea. Littlewood didn't play it, but you can see that the idea is there. See, knight e4 hits the queen, also threatening knight fg5 check. So if the queen does move, then you can't go to h8 because queen h5 mates. So if you go to g6, if you go to king to g6 and queen to g4. So in theory, in fact, you've actually got to give up the queen in the position. So you can't take. Well, you can if you move, you can move the king, and then still knight to e4 comes, and it's very strong. Black would have to sort of cover the knight, cover with the knight, because the idea is still there. I mean, you could move the queen, but then this is still very strong. And it doesn't look a way out for black. So it would have been a nice idea, and it would have forced immediate resignation if this had happened, I think. He didn't play. He played knight to e4, which is still very strong, and all the ideas are still there. And there's a threat of potentially discovered attack on the queen as well. So Nigel gets his queen out of the way. But as mentioned before, knight to g5, and h6 is trying to kick the knight, but white can just simply ignore it. Because if he tries to take the knight to f6 is a killer, because the queen has to intercede, otherwise white's mating. And something along these lines would have been devastating. So yeah, so there was no option to take the knight. So Nigel tried to grovel with queen to f8, but after knight to f6 check anyway, and pawn takes, and knight to h7 actually wins the queen because the queen can't move. Nigel throws a check in, hoping for king takes bishop followed by queen c5 check, but the king just simply moves out of the way. And here Nigel resigned. That's due to the fact that he's got nothing to do. If you do try and move the queen, then knight takes f6, following, and this is just mating. Queen e4, converting mate on h7, and that would be a very nice finish. So a bit of a mistake from Nigel early in the game, and got punished severely for it. I think this was the last round of this chess congress. Hope you liked the game, and please like and subscribe if you did enjoy the game. And any comments and anything else would be much appreciated. I might do one more sort of miscellaneous game of 1984 next before getting on to Nigel's next tournament. Okay, bye for now. Thanks a lot. Cheers.